All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody.
Morning.
Morning. Call the meeting to order. Trish has something she wants to amend the agenda with.
So last week, the transfers for secondary roads were done, but we need to do those by resolution, so I'm just adding those to the agenda to approve the resolution 2025 6-23.1 and .2.
Can we say that again?
Oh,
2025.
When it comes that time, I'll just have her do the.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I missed all the numbers except for the file this morning.
Yeah, the 2025-2, that's it.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda then.
Second.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is amended. Approve the minutes from June 23rd.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 23rd.
I'll second. First and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved.
Making a lot of noise coming in there.
Happens. Well, we'll wait for, he's not here yet, maybe we'll, go down.
You can do.
The liquor license.
Anybody general?
Did we do general public?
Yeah, I forgot the general public concerns. Any general public have concerns? All right,
You got that?
okay, we're gonna drop down to the approval of the Class C retail alcohol license with outdoor service for Humboldt County Dragway. I think this is for the concert.
Summer.
Boards and forms.
Boards in the forum.
Just the annual update on this and everything is in check.
So they got it to us in the right amount of time then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
I'll make that motion to approve the Class C retail alcohol license outdoor service for Humboldt County Dragway.
Seconded.
Okay, we have a first, a second, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The license is approved. Okay, well, the other thing, you wanna sit and talk a little bit, but we can't open bids till we know. So,
Can we approve that resolution?
yes, let's do our resolution.
Okay, the first one is for Ben's transfer of $895,601 from rural service basic to secondary roads fund.
Good, separately,
If you want. we can-
probably better be in the
Yeah,
let's do
resolution.
this. What's
What's
the
the
number
numbers?
on there?
Resolution number.
Oh,
Slowly.
2025
Yeah.
space 06-23.1.
And that's for $895,601.
Correct.
Okay, I'll approve resolution 2025-06-23.1. For $895,601.
Oh, got it?
Seeing numbers?
I'll second that.
All right, more discussion on the resolutions, something we did last week, we just needed it as a resolution form. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution carried. Now we have a second one.
Okay, this is for resolution 2025-06-23.2. And this is a resolution authorizing the transfer of $300,000 from the lost fund to the secondary roads fund.
I'll make that, I'm sorry, I was writing still, I'll make that for 2025-06-23.2 for 300,000 loss to secondary.
That's it, and then. All right, First and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, that's been formally adopted.
Thank you.
All right, almost gone, so should we do our committee reports?
Yeah.
That's right. Do we, on a resolution, do we have to each say aye individually? Forgot. Which
I
one?
don't think,
I
no,
don't think so.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
Just making
So when
sure.
is it we have, why is it some we have to do, which ones is it we have to do, the individual? Cause there is it ordinances? Okay,
Ordinance,
okay, ordinance, okay, that's fine, okay, you were just wondering.
I think. Maybe we should bring it up, start a whole question.
I am too, because I thought we always did it for, I thought, but I don't.
Resolutions, we had
do
to.
you have your-
Grab your little rules and order book out. We're trying to drag this out as long as we can.
We're doing a really bang job, aren't we? I thought I had it in here.
We're gonna be at 8:45 here pretty quick.
That's all right.
Well, what the heck, I know I had it in here.
Back anymore sitting there, stuff in there, says.
Good, gotta have me up.
Well,
What?
whenever somebody needs something, who do you look to? The pack rat of the century, and I don't have it in here, I don't know where it was. Oh, wait, what's this? No, no. It's a blue book. What happened to it? I
Not wrong.
had it in here.
All right, we can go around this have individual and we'll cover it if you want.
I would rather do that and
All right,
and have to do it next week and
Again, yeah.
Again,
re-adopt.
okay, on resolution. 250623.1, Bruce,
Aye.
Sandy.
I,
Aye.
Aye. I myself, but aye. So the motion carries. On resolution 2025-06-23.2, Bruce, how do you? vote?
Aye.
Sandy?
I,
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Rick? I vote aye.
Now we're covered both ways.
there we go. Dang, we're good.
All right. Got that
Good
taken
job,
care of.
Bruce.
Now I got still 5 minutes. So let's do our committee report and get that done.
Okay. On Tuesday. I had Udmo, Zoom. Everything seems to be moving forward in that. Wednesday, or excuse me, Thursday, the 26th. I did CFR. When I was out east there on Zoom. And the way it sounds, they're going ahead with that building program down in Des Moines. They have gotten some finances through the state, so the way it sounds, they are moving forward with their new facility. Then Friday, I was on my way home, Central Iowa Juvenile Detention, but I didn't get it called in to. I just heard of the horror stories in the way when I got back, that they were still in the meeting for 5 hours, so. I'm waiting to hear all of the. Scuttlebutt that's going on down there that take 5 hours to get through, but anyway, that was my week.
I had no extra meetings.
At Housing and Development on Tuesday. Hopefully we're gonna move some properties. There's somebody from Eagle Road that would like to purchase 3 lots together,
Oh,
so we gotta do some. Redesign on how it's stated on how you can buy them, so. Cause right now you can't do it, cause there's like 2 lots here and then 1 here, so it'd be like an L shaped. And then we have another one that has 1, 2, and 3. Or on the other side of the road. So we're working on trying to get that figured out, cause it would be an awesome sale and it'd be an awesome family to have in Humboldt County. So.
Cool.
All I have to meet.
Tuesday, I went, Randy Beanstra, just went to listen to his town hall meeting, about things going on in that world. A lot of tax credits, social security being tax-free, that's what we're pushing for in this new bill coming across the table. Wednesday, I drove some of the blacktops because BW's spraying blacktops. And he's not doing the south half, so I thought, well, I'll just go out and spot and see if I can find these purple flowers in the ditch. There's some out there, and so I stopped and talked to Ben, and I got the blade guys with maps, so they're mapping out where there's spots, because we just as well try and keep them to a minimum if we can. So, then I went over to Nellis's box, Thor box, and the one on Virginia, and took pictures, and I talked to Terry and thought maybe they should be part of that drainage district. So I'm gonna send her the pictures of them, and we can add it to that. So we got records of when it was put in case it ever becomes a necessity to know when it was put in. So that was pretty much all I did.
Okay, Wednesday, I went over to Pokey for IDDA. The way we do our payment or assessment, where our money comes out of to pay our IDDA dues is probably not legal. According to an Iowa code, it's supposed to come out of each individual drainage district. Taking a poll there in a room, it's 50-50. Because we have about 99% of our county is in a drainage district. And they're like, well, it costs you more to figure out what it's gonna be rather than paying the bill. Some of them pay them out of rural services, some pay it out of general, some do assess it to each district. I mean, it's 3 cents an acre. So simply to divide it all out and try to figure that out, you're spending hundreds of dollars to save pennies. So until the state clamps down on us, I say we just,
That's the way we're doing.
yeah. I don't think they're gonna get too upset about it unless somebody makes a big deal about it. Because, like I say, it's 3 cents an acre, so an average person has a lot's probably about a penny and a half. You're paying that you probably won't have to pay. So. Well, but almost all of their ag land is in drainage districts, except a little bit along the rivers. And most of the city is too. Well, almost all of Dakota City is, most important, good chunk of Humboldt is, Bradgate, all these cities are drained by county mains. So, I
That'd be
think
nice.
it's an accounting nightmare,
Yeah,
so.
I'm glad I'm not.
So we had a discussion on that. And John, I think I mentioned to you, he fell on the window well, and he's wearing a neck brace and a back brace. And he was 31 days in the hospital, and he's back on his feet.
Wow.
So,
Ouch. I won't complain about doing the splits then.
yeah. So that's what I did. And then I did stop and got some more carpet quotes, so we'll discuss that later. Okay. That's what I had.
I had a couple others, sorry, Trish. Saturday, I drove out by that, west of Divings.
Oh,
Of course, the corn is so tall you can't
Can't
see,
see.
but there's a little spot out there, so I called Doug Marso and he said it has been finished for 3 weeks, so
Okay.
I was worried about 4 inches of rain but he said it is all buttoned up and closed up with an intake there, so it should be good to go. The other thing is they're changed the flag date. Instead of putting them up Thursday, being the 4th is Friday, they're gonna do it tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So we need to remind Tyler that, I know the yard was mowed, but if it's gonna need it before next Tuesday, that's when they'll take them down. So,
Get ahead of the rain.
yeah. The other thing, Ben, we're gonna need your pickup
I don't think so.
for Friday. Please, thank you.
All right, well, it is 8:45, 47. So, Ben, you wanna?
Few quotes. And I think he wants.
Thank you.
So we're having bid letting for pavement whiting project FN, yes. 46, 91, 74, 46.
This should be quick. Perfect.
Yeah, I did.
Not a lot of bids there.
Wow.
One is all we need. Iowa DOT bid bond, signed and sealed by Bob. Proposal.
You gonna read these as broke down or as the entire project? The way you have it on your sheet here.
So it's got it all lumped together
Yeah,
for the whole job.
alright, that's fine.
The bid is $183,966.76. 183,966.76.
And you had it estimated at 345? Am I looking at that right? No, it's no, we're gonna. Yes. No, I was just wanting to make sure I looked at that right. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
That's great. We need a break.
Well, the estimate was turned in a year ago, I think, cause this was part of that.
They were higher.
This was
Okay.
the
That makes sense.
TSIP safety grant that we applied for last July,
Okay. Yeah,
so.
Rather than going up or prices have dropped a little,
right,
which is very unusual.
yeah,
We are thankful and blessed to have Blacktop Service here
yes.
Yeah,
to do a lot of our work
Yep.
and, we have a good working relationship. I'm
They do a great
happy
job.
to have them.
Yep, they do a great
Yes,
job.
thank you very much.
Yeah,
I do not have, award listed on,
yeah, I didn't see it on there.
but I'll get it on Monday's
Okay.
agenda for awarding the project.
They'll go through everything, make
Nice
sure
to meet
everything's
you,
correct.
Make sure the numbers.
I'll double check the numbers and make sure that there's not a bust and
Okay.
put it on for Monday.
Perfect.
All right. Anything else for us?
We are finishing up hauling dirt on the project there in Thor. We did notch, around the box culvert for the city's sewer line to run through. We did that on Tuesday. They got 3 yards of concrete hauled in and everything filled back in Wednesday before the rains hit.
So I was wondering if the rain's
And it just made the site
muddy.
muddy, soupy, not much productivity. Much action happening. We all dirt Thursday. I think he came out on the weekend and knocked it out and spread it, so we're hauling dirt to that again this morning. The dam got overtopped over at Nillis's sometime Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So they were shut down basically for the rest of the week. It was high water. So we'll go check on that first thing this morning. But yeah, construction's still moving along. Guys are out blading roads right now, we're doing our second cut.
On that project, let's make sure being the dam got water, so if we have to clean down, ditch a little base, make sure we get it all on.
Yeah, that ditch is completely full and is in desperate need of a clean out.
Oh.
What little bit of dam we could have that would wash down would,
Not that big, but
wouldn't be that big of an issue. Both of those ditches need cleaning, but yeah, we'll make sure that if there's any silt from ours, we'll make sure that it's cleaned up. For sure.
All right.
Alrighty.
Questions for me?
Calls now.
And that's not-
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, got 6 minutes before. We could go in drainage and talk about any drainage issues we have, but we just can't do. Stuff about it until 9.
We had quite a bit of rain up in the Renwick area, obviously, received a lot of phone calls, people in Hardy that, Hardy's relatively flat compared to the surrounding area, so that much rain, there was a lot of water flowing towards the town of Hardy. There's just not a large enough tile system to be able to handle the rains that we got last, what was that, Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And how often did that happen?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
I mean,
How many inches did you get again?
we had 3 inches of rain on Wednesday there. Close to, I would say close to 6 towards Renwick. And then the next day they got another 3.
There he is, right here.
Yes, here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. That's really. The last year we were in Key West, we had that flooding night, and Leanne was watching my aunt's house, and we got that message about flash flooding in Humboldt. I'm like, oh shit, Leanne's never let us go.
Well, when we went Wednesday to Des Moines to the airport, South Fort Dodge, it started sprinkling and I don't know that I drove and rained that hard there down to the airport. It was a monsoon. Yeah.
Good morning, man.
So,
okay.
do you need these back or?
Probably can't get done in 5 minutes, can you?
I didn't look at the agenda.
Yeah.
8:35. Whoops, so I like that, whoops.
We have a drainage thing that needs to be done at 9 o'clock, so you might have to wait. Sure. Okay. All right, I'll look for motion to go into drainage.
I'll make a motion to go into drainage.
Now, we're in drainage. So in lieu of all the rain we had this last week. We get a lot of calls.
No, that would have just left Friday. Rick Peterson came in this morning and he has a tile that's plugged, I think it's in Grove. I didn't catch all the details, Sean was talking to us.
Okay.
So as of right now, that's the only thing that we have, but it could be
That's not bad.
No,
a busy week, so
good.
it just depends. But yeah, we didn't have anything on Friday and nothing at this morning except for that, so.
Yeah.
Like when we get these big rains, some more shows up.
Yeah,
So I
so
was surprised how fast the water did go down.
Oh, it's down quick.
Yeah.
It would, I had some pretty good sized leaks out of my field and they're just about gone.
Sorry.
Well, the improvements they've done in the last few years has made a big difference.
The dredges is full.
I got one guy, a phone call this morning that gentleman had a concern where they're pulling that fiber in. Doing the cross and all them tiles in the ditch. He's concerned, are they clearing the tiles, going over them, under them, around them? I said, well, we run into that when I worked there, and if they go through them, it's the county who's fixing them, and then we bill it back to the contractor who did the work, so.
Mhm.
If you know they need to be fixed, that's the biggest issue.
If, yeah, and they'll show up, I mean, regardless if it's today, tomorrow, next year, they will show up. So the broken tile always does,
Yeah,
so anyway, that seemed to be,
Just wondered what the holding ponds over by east of Gilmore, anybody over?
I did, went
Did
by
you go
them,
by there? They
There-
look.
there's hardly any water in it.
yeah.
For what the amount of water we got, there's. it's
Did they get the same amount of rain though over there?
No,
I didn't think they
I
did.
got 2.5 inches out, and I think I had a 1/4 inch last night, so
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Yeah, I drove by them also. I was kind of surprised they didn't have more water in them. But like I said, they didn't get the rain either.
And plan for the fibers to go under or free tile location, but
Private ones
There's
as
some
well.
out there you don't know
the
about.
ones that
Yeah.
are private that you don't know about, there's no intake in the road ditch, those are the ones that'll end up getting hit.
Hence another reason for the private guys to let us know where there are, so when things like that happen, it'd be to their benefit to let us know.
I see they go over
Quarter.
top of the pedestal, there's a telephone pedestal that comes up, and then they got a pothole machine, I assume that's what they're using to go back, put it back down.
Yeah, so they daylight over the top with the conduit, the plastic conduit, and that's basically their way of indicating to their guys that here's where they need to bore, to go underneath the
Okay,
unit, so. They end up potholing on each side and boring underneath.
okay. I just seen everyone and seen them come up and over.
We have 1 minute.
Yeah, got one more minute.
Identification.
Oh, awesome, they came out, they're done, good.
They're waiting for the,
The little, the little holder with the clip on it.
and the land.
Yeah.
I went and bought my own lander.
Good for you, I'm proud of you.
I don't think we ordered the lanyards, just clippy with the,
Did you? I thought she said.
well, it's got so like an extension.
Yeah, you can put on your
Yeah,
Yeah.
keychain.
yeah, and then you can,
We had those when we were at Decker, they were really nice, you just go like this and they retract back.
yeah, until they don't anymore.
What's that?
All
Oh,
right,
they are
I
not.
believe it is.
9?
It's still 8:59. There it is.
Mine did. Mine's at 9.
It's 9 o'clock.
I was.
Okay,
Okay,
we have an amendment to the,
DD 11,
DD
sub
11, sub one, what's
That's
the term for that?
Proposal.
Engineer's report.
Yeah,
Engineer's report.
yeah,
That's on here, right?
I
yeah,
don't know if everyone's read through that or not. But it's basically having to do with the old main, how they're gonna deal with the old main in this project.
Okay.
It looks like in the first section of land, they're gonna just go in and cut it, because they're gonna pattern tile the whole farm, so they're not too concerned about hooking up old tile. Then going further south, they're going to leave it and connect the old main occasionally to the new main.
mhm,
So it's two different practices of installing the new main.
and it will, regardless of whether it's crushed or if they, where they're connected into the new tile, that one will not be used at all anymore.
So basically,
What
it's
else?
useless then. the other
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it's mainly in the northern part of it there. Or closer to the outlet, they're going
Yeah.
to not follow the old main route, plus it's pretty shallow.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
you're
that
talking about
was
upsizing the new main, so they
They're
make.
going from 18 to 24
24.
inches because there's so much water that goes through it.
Okay,
The estimated project cost was $11,000 increase.
okay, from the original one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
This is
and-
probably due to some farmers' concerns, I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't get anything on that, but I'm sure.
Mhm.
And then they were proposing not to annex any land into it, because they would not have had any benefit, or they don't drain into those lands at all. So he had talked about possibly annexing some, but they're not going to be doing that.
Oh, that 10.3 acres of land, okay.
Mhm. And other than that, it's just encouraging the landowners to give any information for the boundary of the benefited area in case there's anything that was missed in that, it could give more information on it.
Okay.
And then they're gonna be putting stakes on both sides of roads up there.
For this D 11 sub 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, I talked to Alan a couple of weeks ago about crushing what was into road right away, the snow and it's installed.
yeah.
Obliterate it.
Well, yeah, cause if you don't, someday they start taking
If
dirt.
somebody wants to look into it, you think it's still active, so it's better to just pulverize it and get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, you made the letter, so at your request of the Humboldt engineer, we will continue to plan to crush the original main.
There you go. Yep.
That should be
And
good
that-
enough for somebody not to want to hook on to it,
Yeah.
right? We
That doesn't
hope.
make sense, because in 10, 20 years, we're not gonna be here.
No.
Recorded.
Okay.
And this will still, when this all is put together, they'll still have a chance to look at this, right?
Yes. At our hearing date.
At our hearing.
So we need a motion
Or
to
the amendment.
accept and approve this amendment,
Great.
or adding it to the original report.
I'll make a motion to accept and approve the amendment to DD 11 sub 1.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Yeah, motion carries. So the amendment is accepted.
Anything else for drainage?
All I have.
I'll make a motion to go out of drainage then.
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Out of range.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
How do we make a motion to have Scott come on?
Yeah.
Apologize.
Oh,
You're good.
We were here at 7:15 waiting for you.
Well, I promise I bring good news. So
Oh, man.
We like it.
We like it. We like it, dude. But then I'm under.
there's two sets here, our normal little packet, and then I brought a statement of values packet, so just take one of each, there should be plenty.
Oh, I took one of those.
I think there was some on the backside of them.
Yeah, I was convenient.
Okay, good morning. Just wanted to come in front of the supervisors this morning and do our annual insurance renewal and go through kind of a summary packet for you. And I also added the extra pages that I handed out is just what they call a statement of values, which is just a listing of all of our property locations, what we have under our blanket value, lists a lot of the heavy equipment that is not licensed for the road, motor graders, those kind of things, skid loaders, and then the vehicle list as a reference. But the main thing we'll go over is the summary packet that we've gone through in years past, and we'll just cut to the good news. If you go to the very back page, we'll start back to the front. This is, the back page is what everybody's interested in anyway. On the left-hand column, you'll see the expiring premiums. On the right-hand column is the renewal premiums. As you see, we are down $3,664 over the expiring premium, which is, there's a little bit of a,
something's covering it up, obviously, property and vehicles and things, those premiums did go up. But again, workers' compensation has been our hero section over the last few years. And you'll see a reduction of over $15,000 in our workers' compensation premium from the expiring to the renewal, which is a great testament. Ever since we put a safety committee in place and we've been having regular meetings, we've driven that premium down consistently. I looked it up 5 years ago. Our renewal was $96,000 just for the workers' compensation section alone 5 years ago. Now we're renewing at $32,346. So it's a great testament to
Good job, Ben.
what's been happening with the safety, and it's paying for itself. I mean, and when we get to that section within the packet, I'll give a few more highlights about that, but just wanted to show that. So that's the good news. Any questions on that? Otherwise, we can go through and start from the beginning on our kind of the high level summary. So the first page is the property section. You'll notice there in the middle of the page, our blanket value is $24,100,000 and almost $28,000. That is up over, well, it's up about $1,081,000 over the prior year. Some of that is just general inflation, what we call an inflation guard. So every year, our buildings on the schedule, they increase those just for cost of materials. And then the other big chunk is we added the new building just north of here, where, you know, the three entities that have that space there. So that, you know, obviously some of the premium on that line item, the increase, so, you know, it's not all just rate, it's exposure there. We're adding coverage along the way. It's on a replacement cost basis. Our deductible is $1,000, which, I didn't check this year. We've checked in the years past and looking at, hey, what's a $2,500 deductible look like, or a $5,000 deductible? And the savings was not worth even one jump to 2,500. I think it was a savings of even less than that per year. So I think, you know, certainly it would warrant next year. We can look at that again and bring options in front of the supervisors for that. Similar things down below under the endorsements and conditions. The 1% wind hail deductible was introduced last year. That's a little, you know, what ICAP is this the normal $1,000 deductible would apply in all circumstances for wind and hail unless it's considered a catastrophic loss by the ISO Insurance Service Office. And there's a dollar limit, $25 million and beyond is kind of the general guideline of a cat storm. So there are buy down policies, you know, so some of our buildings, what the 1% means is it's 1% of the value of the building. It's not the value of the damage. Well, it's 1% of the value of the building. So, you know, in places like the courthouse here, 1%, if we have a $10 million building, you know, that's going to be a substantial $100,000 deductible. So they have wind buy down policies that are available specifically for these reasons, because this percentage deductible has become so prevalent in the industry. There's brokerage services out there that we can go and get what they call a buy down policy. So we can take this 1% on certain buildings that is going to be a substantial deductible and potentially buy it down to a more reasonable deductible. If somebody, you know, if this board decides 25,000 or 10,000 on a certain building would be more reasonable. Of course, that comes with additional premium, but just know that that's available. And if there's interest, we can go look at those.
Scott, if we had a greenfield here and say the courthouse was demolished, would we be required to build similar, or could you, I'm just curious, because when homes are damaged, most of the time they say it has to be similar to what.
Similar, yeah. I think there would be some leeway in obviously materials and, you know,
That's what I want.
kind of footprint is generally has to be the same, but yeah, you know, a lot of times tile and marble and things like that. If there's alternative methods that the board decides to build back with, that would be acceptable. It's just generally they like, you can't really move a footprint. That's why, your house, if it's gone, you generally build it the same address on the same foundation and that kind of thing. So there would be tied, but if it's one story shorter or something like that. That would be available.
Curious,
Yeah.
So could we go out like that, like instead of having
Yeah, do
three
one level.
floors, do
instead of
one level
three-story
instead of.
building.
Yeah, there could be, where you run into that, it's always. If there's increased cost doing one thing or another, those all may not be 100% provided, so for instance, if you decided. Hey, we needed to dig foundation so we can go that way. They might say that foundation cost is outside of what.
right?
I see.
Insurance would pay. You guys foot the bill on the extra foundation because was not here before.
Gotcha.
Type of thing, so.
I didn't know that your house had any.
So. That's where, and so the blanket value, and then that's the other packet that I handed out, just kind of those first few pages of that are all the locations, all the buildings, all the contents within the buildings that make up this $24 million there. The next page over is crime policy. That's where we have our employee dishonesty, some money and securities coverage there. So it's on a blanket schedule. So all of our positions here are covered for employee dishonesty bond, up to $200,000 there. And then money and securities, that's just, for any kind of cash that is handled while we're going to the bank, whether it's on premises or off premises, if somebody decides to help themselves to do that, there's that coverage to highlight there. The general liability section, here we have a $2 million per occurrence on all of our, operational things, products, completed operations, personal advertising injury, our employment practices, our public officials liability, law enforcement liability. So this is what I call the underlying schedule. We have an additional $6 million excess policy that you'll see later on. So in total, we have $8 million, which it's been a handful of years when the board decided to increase up to that 6 million excess. So we have a total of 8 million. This is the underlying policy. So this would be the first place that a claim would be addressed is under this section here. And that's just all rated on different exposures. Net operational budget is the biggest exposure that it's rated on. And then they have some of these other, our campground, our bridges, streets, jail, those kind of things are all listed there as well. Flipping over to business auto, again, you'll see, we have a $2 million liability limit for our automobiles that are on the license on the road. And again, that excess policy goes over the top of that. So, again, and then anything that has physical damage coverage, we see our comprehensive and collision deductibles at $250, $500. Also at the bottom, we have hired and non-owned liability. So if anybody, whether it's supervisors, other employees of the county, if they're using their own vehicle to attend a meeting and they have an accident, their policy on their own car would be primary in that accident. But if it's a serious enough accident, where attorneys are involved and investigations are involved more than just a simple police report, and it's determined, oh, you were on county duty, so county gets named. That's what this hired and non-owned liability does to protect the county and steps in from that standpoint. Next page over, equipment floater. Just to backtrack, I think rough calculation, I looked at our automobile, we added, again, part of the increase on the back page on that section. We added 3 vehicles, the best I could see over the last year, a couple from the sheriff's department, one from Ben's department. So again, some of that increase is just additional vehicles or upgraded vehicles that way. Equipment floater, this is where a lot of the conservation and secondary roads equipment, they might be on the roads, but they're not necessarily licensed for the roads. So it's your motor graders, your skid loader types and things like that, that don't have to be licensed for the road. backhoes, those kind of things. That section, we increased coverage, so we have a scheduled limit. You can see on the middle right, $6,732,000 of those types of things, and that's an increase of 516,000 over the previous year. So, you know, those things don't get any cheaper, even if we're swapping things out, trading one in and adding a new, it's generally adding value for sure. And then the communications equipment, the 916, that's the big comm tower that's down there at LEC. And that increased by about 17,000 just for inflationary purposes there. You see the deductibles there. You've got leased and rented equipment. I always like to point that out at the very bottom, $50,000 per item. That can easily be increased. So if any certain department needs to rent a high lift or some specialized piece of equipment for a period of time and it exceeds the 50, just, you know, let me know. We can certainly get that accommodated during that time. Next page is our workers' compensation. We kind of touched on that at the beginning here. There we have $1 million for any employer's liability. So any medical or time off of work due to an injury is unlimited. That does not have a limit. Where this $1 million limit comes in is if the Iowa statute in certain circumstances would ever allow an employee to file a lawsuit. Quite generally, you guys are protected very well as an employer because of that statute. That employee's injury, for the most part, is taken care of statutorily. But if it's a negligent situation on our behalf where staff is saying this machine needs to be maintained and we don't maintain it, and somehow that causes an injury, that can open the door. That's where our $1 million comes into play. Otherwise, any medical or time off is unlimited. But you can see here at the top, the 93,000, that's what I would call our calculated actual premium. So if there's no discounts, if we were straight across the board with all of our workers' compensation, we'd have a calculated cost of 93,121. Then the first thing that comes off is what they call the experience modification. That's a complicated formula that's looks back over the past oldest 3 years out of the current 5 and does a calculation there, and you get a factor. And so we're at 0.73, which means we're at a 27% discount over the base rate. That is, we're probably about bottomed out. I mean, the formula, you don't see many mod factors dip into the 60s. So we're about bottomed out, which again, you know, we've ridden this thing down for the last 5 years, and it's a testament to the safety committee and everything. But just as a, you know, fair warning is that's kind of bottomed out. So we're probably at where we're going to be, potential to maybe sneak a little bit more out of it. But, and then the premium discount, you'll see there at 32%. These next couple of discounts are the benefit of IMWCA to municipal entities like Humboldt County, where generally a business owner in the private sector, they have an experience modification factor, just like you see here, but the premium discount credit and the IMWCA good experience credit, those private entities don't have the ability to get that through their workers' compensation. So these are things that are closely tied to our experience modification. So as that gets above a certain level, I think 0.95, a lot of these credits really start eroding. So if things turn, they can turn pretty quickly. But we've maxed out the maximum premium discount credit that IMWCA offers is 32%. We were at that last year. We continue to be at it this year. So that's another 27,000 plus in savings, brings our discounted premium down to 40,000 after that. Then we receive IMWCA good experience credit. So that's just another one that builds up. We were at 14% last year. We're at 20% this year. So that subtracts another $8,000. So you can see how we get from 93,121 down to 32,346. So we're paying 1/3 of what the base rate would be. So great news there.
But Ben, thank you. You should be, I mean, commended for that, because it's been all your, you started it and you got it going.
That's a big group effort.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the sheriff's department, conservation, the way the courthouse is, everybody buying it.
Mhm.
Fire extinguisher training last month, we've all done CPR training. So. Yeah, can't get credit for that.
No, but you've headed it up and you started it. You did a good job. Take credit where credit is due.
The next one is our umbrella or excess policy, and that's where you see we have an additional $6 million that goes on top of our underlying liability. The bottom section just shows what it would take to increase that to 7, so increase it by $1 million or increase it by 2 or 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to what the maximum that ICAP offers and the additional premium that's associated with that additional $1 million increment there. So if the board would decide to push it higher, you'll see what that would take to do. So the only other thing that I wanted to highlight as an option, our policy has a cyber liability section built in at a $250,000 limit. They did offer $1 million limit this year for an additional $2,672. So, I don't know how quickly a $250,000 limit would get eaten up in a cyber. I guess it probably all depends on how widespread and how big it is, but they, just with the environment out there, that's why they offered that out, is to have us mention that coverage can be bumped up to all the way up to $1 million for an additional 2672.
Do you know if other counties carry that?
Oh, yeah, most counties carry, and especially I'm pretty close to our neighbor to the east over there as far as their county, what they do, and everybody has that base level. I think they are at $1 million over there. But again, it's all, and I'm not familiar with, too many other counties, but who all has jumped on that.
Right.
So just something to offer out there. The last thing I want to do is just, claim wise, it's been a good, quiet year, workers' compensation. We're still chugging right along. We've had 2 actual claims that were submitted. They were medical only. Those totaled $700 between the 2 of them. And then there was another one that was just an incident only. Didn't turn into anything. So, yeah, so very, very good. I don't think it's gonna move the needle on that at all from there. And then on our basic policy, I know this report's probably old enough. We just had the air conditioner explosion up on the roof that we turned in that isn't reflected here. But otherwise, I think for the current year, coming to a close, we had 1 automobile incident and a couple of property incidents. So those total between those 3 claims, right at just over $20,100. So, yep. And then, of course, the air conditioner one, we'll
See what that is.
see what that is,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's, I think, obviously a very good year going forward, or completed, and just hope we continue that going forward. So there's.
On that cyber, can we get a breakdown of the 500? Say we increased it to, instead of 250, go to 500?
I can see if that
Can you
offers,
see if they
the
offered
only one
something like that, or they just went right?
yeah, they went right to, the only one that they offered went right to $1 million. So I'm not sure. Yeah, this, they just went from 250 and then $1 million. So I can ask if there's a 500. But
Questions, we don't know. Oh, Chris is on. Oh, yeah, there he is. Chris, can you hear us?
Hello, Chris.
He might be on Zoom, but he may not be sitting there.
Yeah.
I thought I heard him in there earlier.
so, yeah, that's,
I mean,
that's the only option they threw out at me. So,
Like you said, 250 doesn't go far.
No,
Yeah.
And then 26 would be, that'd put us back at the same premium that we were last year.
Yeah, you'd still probably sneak under where you
Yeah,
were,
where we
we
were
were
last
saving
year.
330,
3,700.
3600,
So
yeah.
that would, we'd still have $1,100
yeah.
savings. Yeah,
Really, that's about the only thing I think we need to look at, or I don't know about if you feel about our coverage, if it was adequate.
the liability, the umbrella.
The umbrella.
6 mil, 6
Yeah.
but we
Cause
talked
we
about,
increased that, what was that, 2?
I was gonna say,
That's a few years.
Three, probably 3 years
Was it
ago
3?
now, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oops.
Got the, for.
The packets,
Yeah,
yeah, let's see here.
and do you review these to make sure you got everything out and so,
Yeah, yeah, I think there's probably the two that'll come off. You don't gotta maintain these, would be very.
One.
Chris, we're having a discussion on cyber security costs if we were hacked.
Okay.
How expensive does it get? 'Cause we have a $250,000 limit right now.
We can bump it to a million.
We can bump it to $1 million.
You'd be in better shape if you went to a million. 250 isn't gonna cover much.
That's the question we're trying to find.
like going to Target with your wife and then we're just gonna buy.
You know, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Nothing gonna cover much, but I'm only gonna buy a couple of things. Sorry, honey, if you're listening. She was. I think,
That's your professional opinion, couldn't that be hire you for?
What is it cover?
yeah,
Like-
that's my question is what does that cover for the bang for our buck?
Yeah, so it's various segments in there. There's a section in there about ransomware, so if they lock it down and the demand a ransom, that's a piece that can be covered. Notification, expense, you know, they're what they call first party and third party services in there too, so. First party services to the county would be any kind of restoration help. If they also hack in and do something financially, get a hold of bank accounts and things of that nature. Third party would be notification, so if they get in and take sensitive information out of databases such as birthdays, social security numbers, addresses, do all these things, and now we've got to notify constituents, we've got to notify, anybody that would have records here potentially that were taken. So there's those notifications and then public, what's the word I'm looking for, to address the public, and try to, get things addressed that way. So yeah, you've got those first party services, which protect the county, help restore and, take care of that. Third party services, and then just any of those, if they're ransomware type of requests.
Does any of that, Scott, does any of that cover with like integrate with, or not integrating, but communicate with legal teams? Cause that's usually gonna involve legal counsel just to be on tap.
Yeah, that's where those, especially on that third party service
Okay.
piece of it, it's the, not only is all the legal
Sure.
aspects of it, but then also just the public, I'm not losing the word, but just,
Public address and-
yeah, public address, just try to, notification, just trying to be in front of that.
Yeah, cause those third parties, right, they'll usually help formulate what you wanna put out in coordination with the legal teams. Here's what we can put out, here's the wording we need to use, that.
And then the other part of the third party is also a lot of times they're, whatever's decided, they could sign up for credit monitoring for a year and that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
it's those kind of things that are on the third party side that,
Mhm.
would be a part of it. And there is, I should also say, there, it is sublimited, so it's not just all $1 million for any one category. There's sublimits within that million and it all ends up. So that's what even makes the $250,000 probably not stretch as far as what a $250,000 look. There's sublimits within each of those categories.
Fifty won't cover anything nowadays.
Yeah.
And you said that's an extra, how much?
Would be,
$2,672.
Take a long time to
Yep,
pay that off though.
yep, but
mean,
it's
if-
still under if. What our last year's rate was, even
Right.
if we add that.
Mhm.
I think we should look into it and consider it.
Do that as an action item and then next week's agenda.
Yeah.
Can you bring us some, typed up overall for it,
yeah. I'll bring that if you would please the next time.
I just think that's smart.
Yeah,
I
add
didn't,
that to the
Especially with
policy,
cyber stuff
resubmit it
going
to
on.
us, and then we'll approve it next week.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to look at?
No.
All right, thank you,
Okay,
Matt.
you bet.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Josh.
Well, do we have anything else the board needs to discuss?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 9:34.